Welcome everybody. Tony Porter, Cards and Dice TV. This is 1980 Fall Classic Baseball. This is, I guess, episode 3 of our mini tutorials. And this is the end of the game. We are in the top of the 7th inning. We're towards the end of the game. It's going to be Pat Putnam, Dave Roberts, and Pepe Frias against Steve McCatty. Steve McCatty in 6 innings has only allowed 4 hits. 3 of those 4 hits have been extra base hits. A double to Rivers in the first, a homer to Roberts in the second, and a double to Grubb in the fourth. So the way you play Fall Classic Baseball is you roll 2d6. And we're going to read the black and then the white. So then a 4 and a 5 with the black being the 4 would be a 45. And then you have the red, and that will give us additional information whenever we need it. We'll use it. That's generally for the outs and for errors and range plays and so on and so forth. So it's Steve McCatty here in the top of the 7th. The score is 3-3. Texas got off to a quick lead, 3-0, and slowly but surely the A's scratched and clawed their way back into the game. So let's do it. And it's going to be a 24. So let's look at the 24 on Pat Putnam's card, and a 24 is going to be an out. The 6 is going to be a ground ball to the shortstop. A 4 is second base, a 5 is a third base, and so on and so forth. And then, of course, the side by which the hitter bats also has an effect on where he hits the ball. All right, so it's Dave Roberts now, 1 out. Dave Roberts is 1 for 2. He hit a 2-run homer in the 2nd inning. In reality, he had 10 home runs and 200 at bats, so that's proportionally about 20 home runs in a season, approximately, maybe a little bit more. And that is a 61. A 61 is a blank on Roberts. When it's a blank, you go to the pitcher's column. Now, McCatty has been an A throughout the whole game, and that is a strikeout. So McCatty strikes out Roberts, swinging, and that's 2 outs. And here comes Pepe Frias in the bottom of the 7th. It's all tied at 3 apiece. McCatty winds and deals, and that's a 31. Now that's generally an automatic hit, and 31's a blank, and we go to the A, and it is a base hit. Line drive center field for Frias, and played on a hop by Murphy in center, gets it into Piccolo. And on at first is Frias with a 2-out single. That's the 5th hit allowed by McCatty in this game. And here comes Mickey Rivers. He's 1 for 3, doubled in the first. Grounded out to first and grounded back to the pitcher. Now, he batted .333 in 1980, so he's dangerous. So here goes. Here's a pitch. And that is a 21, and that is going to be a fly ball deep in the gap. And after it is Murphy, and on the track, reaches up, makes the catch, and that retires the side. So no runs, 1 hit, and we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. So get out to those concessions for the last beverage of the day. They're going to close up soon. Gaylord Perry's still on the mound for the Rangers. He's going to be facing Ricky Henderson, who's 1 for 3 with a stolen base and a run scored. That sounds about right, doesn't it? All right, so here's a pitch to Ricky Henderson in the bottom of the 7th inning. That's a 46. Now, that's going to be no park home run, but it is a ballpark number. The 46 is always going to take you to the ballpark, so let's look at the ballpark. There it is. And we're going to look at that D20. That's where the D20 comes into play. Now, Ricky Henderson is a right-handed batter. We're playing at Oakland Alameda County Coliseum, and there's a huge foul area. You know that. So 5 to 16 is usually a foul to the first baseman for a right-hander. And that's a 17, so that's lying in the gap, and that's cut off by the left fielder, Oliver. Trying for 2 is Henderson, and we're going to have to roll And the left fielder, I believe, let's see, the left fielder is an A3. So an A3 is basically 3 or less. He is out. And we're going to roll a D6, and here's the slide into second base, the tag, and he is out at second base. A single, and he tried to stretch it into a double, and Al Oliver throws him out 7-4. So he is out at second base, 1 away. All right, next up is Dwayne Murphy. And that is a 54. That's going to be a wild chart with nobody on base. Strike 3 if catcher range is a G. Okay, as he frames the pitch. Ball 4 if the catcher's range is a B. Home N gets strike 3. Away N gets ball 4. So we need to find out what Roberts is. And that's going to be in this chart right here. It says Roberts is an N. And Roberts is away. So away, the N away gets ball 4. So Murphy trots down to first base with a base on balls. So 1 out, 1 on, and here comes Dave Revering. Revering is 1 for 3 today. Now he is an A hit and run guy, so we're going to try to hit and run with him. And let's see if I have the hit and run chart near me so I don't have to kill myself. There's little mini charts, mini cards with the information, as you can see, which are really nice. So this is the hit and run. So let's see what happens. See here if I can read this. I'm having some issues with. Okay. All right, here goes. Hit and run. There goes Murphy and swung on. And the 43 is going to be a 7, right? And a fly ball center field, and returning back to first safely is Murphy. So 2 outs. So we try the hit and run there. I don't do it often. I do it maybe once or twice a game, depending on the situation. But I felt that was a good situation to stay out of the double play to get the runner going. Here's Mitchell Page. He's a left-handed batter. He's 0 for 3. He's struck out twice and grounded to the first baseman. He's facing Gaylord Perry, Gaylord Perry has gone 27 plus 3 is 30. He can go 31 batters faced as a starter. And after that, once he gives up a base on balls or a hit, he will get pulled. So here's a pitch to Mitchell Page. And that is a 14. A 14 is strike 3, and he gets Page. 3rd time in a row that Perry strikes out Mitchell Page. All right, so it's no runs, a hit, 1 left, the walk, and we go to the top of the 8th inning. Steve McCatty is still in the ball game. Now remember, all these pitchers back in the 80s, especially on the Athletics, went the distance. He can go 33 batters. He's only faced 28. So he can still go probably an inning at least or more, depending on how he pitches. Here's Bump Wills. Bump Wills today's 0 for 3. He's grounded to first, lined out to first, and then popped up to the third baseman. He's a switch hitter who against McCatty, the righty, is batting from the left side. So here's our roll, playing Fall Classic Baseball. Let's see what happens. That's going to be a 45, and a 45 is a blank, and we go to 45 as a fly ball, and that is going to be, he's batting from the left side, so it's going to be a fly to right. Under it is Armas, and squeezes it for the out. 1 down. Here's Al Oliver. Al Oliver is 0 for 2 with a walk and reached on an error. Here's the pitch. And that's a 55. That's line. That's in the gap. That's going to roll to the wall. Digging for second is Oliver. The throw from Murphy. The slide, the tag, and he is safe with a 1-out double. So that puts the go-ahead run at second base. Al Oliver strokes a double, lines it into the gap. And he's on at second base with 1 out. Buddy Bell now. Buddy Bell is 0 for 2 with a walk. Steve McCatty looks into Newman for the sign. Looks over at second base at Oliver. And here's a pitch. And a 22. That's going to be trouble. That's line base hit. And let's see if Oliver will score a runner on second. There's an assist question mark. So it's to right field. Now this gets interesting. This gets very interesting. Because that assist question mark tells us that we must automatically try to score. And I believe that Armas is a A5. That means only a 6. He will be safe only on a roll of a 6. So Armas had a lot of assists in 1980, so he has a good assist rating. So this is going to be a tough play at the plate for Al Oliver. And let's see if now Buddy Bell is also an F, and it does say on the card F batter to second on the throw home. So we will be throwing it home. And here is the throw and the play at the plate. And he is out at the plate. Al Oliver thrown out by Tony Armas, and headed to second base on the throw is Buddy Bell. So that's going to be a 9, and we'll do 4, and we'll do 2, and Al Oliver is out at home plate on a very exciting play. All right, so here's John Ellis. And that's back-to-back singles against McCatty. And you know what? We are going to go to the bullpen. We're going to go to the bullpen here. Who do we got warming up? We're going to bring in Jeff Jones. Jeff Jones. Who else do I have? Beard, Neto, Bordy, Allen, Lysander, Hamilton. I'm going to bring in Jeff Jones. I also have Lacey, who's really my main guy. Who do I have coming up? Ellis, a righty. So I'm going to bring in Jeff Jones to pitch to John Ellis. Now I have to roll to see how he's doing. Will he be an A, a B, or a C? Okay, that is the danger of removing McCatty right here with a runner on second base, because McCatty I know is an A, so he's got his best stuff. Whereas if I bring a relief pitcher in, I have to roll, and he may have his worst stuff. And you know what? His worst stuff is still better than McCatty's. Now, it's not better than McCatty's best stuff, but it's close. It's pretty close. 1-6 home run on his worst stuff, whereas McCatty has a 1-13 home run. So I'm going to bring in Jeff Jones here. I'm going to do it. So McCatty's out. Jones is in. And then we're going to roll to see what happens. All right. So remember, 1-6 is an A, 7-14 is a B, and a 15-20 is a C. And we roll a 12, which is a B. So Jones will have his average stuff. Let's create a little squiggly line here to denote the entrance of a relief pitcher, and we'll write 7.2 for McCatty in this game. And here's Jeff Jones against John Ellis with the go-ahead run at second base in the top of the 8th and 2 outs. This is the 1980s, and we are playing the Oakland Athletics Billy Ball replay. And here goes the pitch, and that is a 46, which is no ballpark home run, which is a good thing. But we're going to have to roll, and we already did roll automatically. We used that 5. So let's take a peek. He's a right-hander. That 5 is going to fall within a pop foul, and over to get it is the first baseman Revering, and that retires the side. So Jeff Jones comes in, and gets John Ellis to pop up in foul ground to retire the side. So no runs, a couple of hits, one left, and we move to the bottom of the 8th, all tied at 3. All right, here is Gaylord Perry still in the game, obviously. Have not pulled him yet, but I will if I have to. Here's Wayne Gross, Tony Armas, and Jeff Newman. Now, Perry can go 31. He's already gone 30, 31. So the next walk or hit, he will get removed. Have a couple of pitchers warming up in the bullpen. You can always look at the list of relief pitchers, and it also shows you how many times they relieved, so you can get an idea, a sense. Game started, let's see. All right, so here the relief pitchers start with Danny Darwin, and that's who we'll probably bring in. Yesterday I brought in Sparky Lyle. Today I'll bring in Danny Darwin. Both of them were near 50. They were the two main go-to guys. All right, so here's Wayne Gross. And the pitch from Gaylord Perry. Oh, I thought I was getting... Oh, that's a no ballpark home run. Wayne Gross. It is a ballpark result. And we're going to get a 17, and that's line base hit in the gap. And digging for second is going to be Gross. It's going to be the left field. And the left fielder, as we said, has an assist rating of a 3. So 3 or less, and he is out at second base. Here is the throw to second, the tag, and he is safe at second with a leadoff double. Third hit of the game for Wayne Gross off the ballpark card. All right, here comes Tony Armas, and that's going to be it for Gaylord Perry. We're going to the bullpen. We'll be right back. All right, we are back. Danny Darwin is on the mound facing Tony Armas with the go-ahead run at second base. Now, Gross, let's look at his speed. All right, so it's going to be Mickey Klutz coming in to run for Wayne Gross. So let's write Klutz in there. He's an ex-Yankee, and he will be a pinch runner, and then he will stay in to play third base, because he does play third base. All right, and it's Tony Armas with the go-ahead run at second base here in the bottom of the 8th facing Danny Darwin. Let's see. Let's roll the D20. That's a 10, and he's going to be middle of the road. So his average stuff, and he's a B. But let's pitch to Armas. Here goes. Oh, I was looking for that 66, and I got a 61. 61's a blank under B, and that's a swing and a miss, and he strikes out Armas. Big strikeout for Danny Darwin. Blows a fastball by Armas, and that's the first out. Here's Jeff Newman. Pitch from Darwin. And that is a 35, which is a blank, and the 35 is going to be a ground ball to second base. Second baseman Wills up with it. Moving to third is Klutz. And that's 2 outs now with the go-ahead run at third. Mario Guerrero. So that's what we'll do. Guerrero's 0 for 3, so McKay will come in, and he will stay in to play shortstop. Actually, we can put him at second base, so he will be a pinch hitter, second baseman, and then Piccolo will move to shortstop. All right, so here's Dave McKay for Mario Guerrero, and McKay pitch to Dave McKay. He's a switch hitter. He's going to bat from the left runner on third. The go-ahead run at third base, 2 outs, and here's Dave McKay. Darwin to Dave McKay. Remember, this is 1980, and that's a 12, and that is going to be a ground ball hit hard up the middle, and the shortstop, Frias, gets to it, spins, throws to first in time, and that retires the side. No runs, 1 hit, and they leave 1, and we move to the top of the 9th. Let's do it. Johnny Grubb versus Jeff Jones, top of the 9th, all tied at 3. Here's a pitch, and it's going to be a 65. That's off the pitcher. A deep drive off the pitcher, And it's going to be a Jeff Jones, I believe, is a B. He's in the B column, right? He is, and it's a 1-3. That's one of the reasons we brought him in. Doesn't give up a lot of long balls, so we got lucky there because we rolled a 15. So that's going to be a long fly ball, and that's going to be caught by the center field Murphy at the track. Or you could say it's a short fly ball. But it's caught by Murphy in center field. And here's Pat Putnam. 1 out. Now let's get this going here. There we go. Here's a pitch to Putnam, left-handed hitter. He's 1 for 3 on the day with a run scored. That's a 33. That's going to be lined. And no, that's foul. And the next pitch is ball 4, so Putnam walks. He's on at first. Now he's a slow runner, so we're going to check the roster to see who we can bring in to pinch run. Here they are. You got all the players. So Sample is running. Pitch to Roberts. 1 on, 1 out. And that is a Snake Eyes, which is going to be a... Oh, it's popped up. And that's going to be pop up to... He's a right-handed batter. A pop up to the first base side. Revering over. And he makes the catch. And here's Pepe Frias. 1 on, 2 out, top of the 9th, 3-3. The ball game tied at 3. So this is a pretty good game we got going here. And it's a 55. That's going to be line base hit. And that will send Sample to third, almost guaranteed. He does advance to third base. So first and third, Pepe Frias lines 1-2, left center field. And with 2 outs, the Rangers have first and third with the hot hitting Mickey Rivers. He batted .333 in reality. In the replay, he's batting .329. So he batted .333 in reality, and after about a month and a half of replay, he's batting .329. So he can hit. And Jeff Jones is going to have his hands full. And against a righty, he'll have a single at 26. If we bring in Lacey. Checks with Newman for the sign. And Mickey Rivers fouls off a slider. 0-1 the count. And here's the pitch. And Rivers pulls that one foul. 0-2. Here's a pitch from Lacey. And that's a 36. And it's a 36. A 36 is a blank. A 36 and A is an out. And that's bounced to second base. Up with it is McKay. And he throws out Rivers. 3-3, bottom of the 9th. It's Piccolo. Rob Piccolo leading off. And let's do it. Here's a pitch. And that is a 35. A 35 is a blank. And Darwin, I believe, is a B. And the 35 will be a ground ball to third base. Up with it is Bell over to first and in time. 1 down. And here's Ricky Henderson. Ricky Henderson is 2 for 4 with a run scored and a stolen base. Got 2 singles today. Here's a pitch. Bottom of the 9th. That's going to be a 41. And that's going to usually be a base on balls. It's a blank there, and a 41 is a base on balls. So Ricky Henderson is on. And that is dangerous. So Darwin's going to throw over a couple of times. And Henderson goes back in head first. Dwayne Murphy, left-handed hitter. We got 3 lefties coming up, so we're going to go to the bullpen. Sparky Lyle. And we're going to roll for Lyle. He's a B. 12. So Lyle comes in. We'll be facing 3 lefties here coming up. We may bring in a pinch hitter for somebody, we don't know. But Murphy will not be pinch hit for. He's swinging away. And he is a C hit and run, so we won't hit and run with him. Here's a pitch from Lyle. Lyle with a good slider. That's a 42. A 42 is a blank, and a 42 is ball 4. And that puts the winning run at second base. Back-to-back walks. one by Darwin, one by Lyle, and here comes Revering, Dave Revering. Not super great against lefties. It's much better against righties, as you can see. Makes an out against lefties. We're going to bring in Jim Essian, and he'll stay in to play first base. So Essian is going to pinch hit for Revering. He will be a pinch hitter, and then he will stay in to play first base. So it's Jim Essian, the righty, versus Sparky Lyle, with the winning run at second base. First and second, only one out. So it's first and second. Henderson doesn't get a good lead. And here is Jim Essian at the plate against Sparky Lyle. Here's a pitch from Lyle, and that is a 41, which is probably a ball four, and it's going to be ball four, so that loads the bases. Winning run is at third base now, 90 feet away. So the A's are 90 feet away from victory. And up comes another lefty, and that is going to be Mitchell Page replaces or is replaced by Mike Heath against Sparky Lyle with the bases loaded and one out. Infield's going to have to be in. Outfield is going to have to be in. Everybody's in. And let's see what happens. Sparky Lyle facing Mike Heath, right-handed hitter, pinch hitting. So we have back-to-back pinch hitters. Let's do a little squiggly line. There we go. And here goes. So Lyle checks with Roberts for the sign. Sets. And here's the pitch. Okay, here's the swing. And it's a bouncer to Bell at third base. And Bell's going to go home with... No, it's a force play at home. Force play at home, and it's a 5-2 force play. So no double play. There's a force play. Henderson is out at home, 5-2. Bases are still loaded. You got Murphy at third, Essian at second, Heath at first, and here comes Mickey Klutz. All right, so Mickey Klutz with the bases loaded, 2 outs, bottom of the ninth. So this is a heck of a game. Can't get any more exciting than this. Sparky Lyle going to be facing Mickey Klutz with 2 outs, bases loaded. Winning run 90 feet away. And here's a pitch. And that's a 26, and against a lefty, that's line, base hit, game over. The Oakland A's pull out a walk-off victory against the Texas Rangers in the bottom of the ninth inning with a split single. And as you see, 26, and splits does come into play. Doesn't need to be there all the time, but it does come into play. Ball game over, and the Oakland A's come from a 3-0 deficit to win the ball game in the bottom of the ninth. The game-winning hit goes to Mickey Klutz, who came in to pinch. Actually, he came in to play third base. He pinch ran right here. Pinch ran the bottom, Klutz. Pinch runner, bottom 8 for Gross. Played third base. And he hits in the bottom of the ninth and strokes the game-winning single for the victory, scoring easily from third base is Murphy, and the ball game is over. What a great game that was. No, 2. Picks up a game-winning RBI. And that's it, guys. This is... Now what I do is I'm going to input the data into my stat keeper, my replay baseball, my replay PC baseball stat keeper. What I did was I made all the hits into green, so they're easy to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 hits for the Athletics. Athletics had one error that I know of. They win it 4-3. They were down at one time, 3-0. But they scratched and clawed their way back into this one. But what really hurt the Rangers in the 9th inning is Sparky Lau with 2 walks and Danny Darwin walking off the lead runner. But they were almost out of it, almost out of the inning. And how many walks did the Athletics accumulate? They're going to be 4 games over 500 now. They ended the season in 2018 3 games over 500, I believe. And they walked 5 times in this game, and that helped them score some runs. At least in the end it did. That was the big run at the end. Mickey Klutz is the hero, gets mobbed at the plate. And let's see how many hits for the Rangers. I got one more Sunday game with the Rangers. I'm going to play that. I'm going to set that up today, start playing it later. So the Rangers, let's see how many hits they had. A couple of hits there in the top of the 8th. Another one there. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 hits. And no errors. So the Rangers with 3 runs, 8 hits, and no errors. The Athletics, 4 runs, 10 hits, and 1 error. The victory is going to go to Lacey. The loss is going to go to Lyle. That's all for today. This is Fall Classic Baseball. I hope you enjoyed the game. It's a fun system. Take care.